Good Monday morning. BAMWX.com meteorologist Michael Clark here with a short and long-term forecast update. In the first half of the video today, we'll talk about the next 2 weeks in terms of precipitation. In the second half of the video, we'll talk about the updated summer outlooks here, where we're going with ENSO, and some of the new data in here for summer, and even just kind of a quick glance into harvest weather as well from the new constructed analog data. Now, here's a look at precipitation over the last 30 days, and you can see places that have done exceptionally well in the rainfall department, especially here across Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, back through Ohio, places in northern Indiana as well. Many locations here at 5 inches plus of rainfall over the last 30 days, and that overall activity, while it takes a brief break, is expected to return in terms of the above normal rainfall. Temperatures from normal, a lot of this in here due to the rainfall and the added cloud cover. Temperatures have actually been running a little bit below normal so far, but we do believe this to change. I do believe we start to see more of an evolution towards our outlook of kind of a more above normal signal here, getting into below normal and maybe neutral and below normal here. So we will kind of see this evolve into our outlook here as we go throughout the month of April. In terms of precip over the next 5 days and percentages of normal, you can see that through Wisconsin, Iowa, back down through the Panhandles, and then down here through Texas, you're looking at precipitation to run anywhere from 150 to 200 and 300% of the normal. In fact, even up in parts of Texas, 500% of the normal precipitation in the next 5 days. And then going forward here, what you're going to look at is a lot of rain in the Pacific Northwest. It's dry in the eastern Corn Belt, dry in the southeast. But here's something I wanted to show you. This is a European rainfall forecast the next 7 days. And the reason I bring this up is because this is what most of the data here looks like in terms of rainfall. And you can see a lot of rain here through central United States, going again down through Texas, and then just kind of back up through here. You're seeing a lot of rainfall through here. In an amount of 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches of rain, not as much east. And so notice this area here, primarily is what I want to focus on, northern Indiana and Illinois. Then look at the latest Weather Service forecast of 3, even 3.5 inch rainfall forecast here in this area we just focused on the next 7 days. Guys, I'm telling you, there's not much of anything that supports this right now. I'm not saying it's 100% wrong, but I'm not saying it's right either. You know, you have to think about these. The way these rainfall outlooks work, I can't stand when people post these, because you're telling me that this entire area, everybody in this area is painted in red, is getting 3.5 inches widespread, west to east. Everyone's farm, everyone's backyard. No, it doesn't work that way, guys. And these maps are misleading. Days 6 through 10, yeah, the pattern picks up. And kind of what we discussed here over last week is that we'd get into week 2 and it would start to get wet again. Precipitation from normal, 200% in the North Plains, 125 to 175% of the normal through the Ag Belt. So days 6 through 10, and then again days 11 through 15, you're above normal in precipitation in terms of where you're at, where you're supposed to be. You know, that's the forecast there. When you look at rainfall the next 2 weeks, it's remarkable. Between now and the 24th of April, most of the Ag Belt is forecast to see, you know, up 2 to 3 to even 5 inches of rainfall. Look at these isolated heavier amounts still showing up here the next 2 weeks, getting out into the 24th of April. And when you look at the GFS ensembles, you know, you've got support there. This is the next 16 days, and you can relate to the color table on the right and look at this stuff. But it's wet. You know, that's the takeaway here, is it's certainly very wet. Now, the first week, the first 7 days, temperatures here between now and the 16th of April will run as much as 8 to 10, even 12 degrees above normal here throughout the course of the next 7 days. And again, that's going to be from the 9th of April out through the 16th. Fairly warm, especially getting into late week into the weekend. Temperatures back into the mid-upper 70s, even 80s across the central United States. But a big front comes through in week 2 and kind of changes that up and kind of squashes it. You see from the 16th through the 23rd of April, temperatures get well below normal, especially in the northern ag belt. Frost freeze, especially freeze potential, still well on the table up there across the northern ag belt here in week 2. So it will trend noticeably cooler during that time frame. And again, some 5 to perhaps 10 degrees below normal there in week 2, and even getting out into, guys, even into the 11 to 15 day time frame. I'll pull up a map here real quick. The 11 to 15 day time frame, you're still targeting threats for temperatures or for freezes here, for temperatures to get below 32 degrees, and you can see that here. Still 75 to 80% probability for that to be occurring up here in the 11 to 15 day time frame. So still some cold out there to be had. In week 2, again, or in the second half here, second half of the video, we're going to talk about where we're going with ENSO. This is the new constructive analog data and what it's going to do with our forecast here for the summer growing season. And we're going to talk about that right now. In terms of where we're going to go for ENSO and El Nino and things like that, it's very important. It's one of the key factors to our summer outlook here. And we want to target this as kind of the area we're looking at in terms of, above this is El Nino, below it is not. And again, you do see a weak El Nino basically from May out and through January or February of next year is kind of the idea from the analog data. And this is what it's going to represent. This is what is going to happen. This is a height anomaly forecast for June, July, and August. Now remember, we've talked about this. We've talked about this ridge setting up in the central U.S. and things flowing around the periphery of the ridge. Pending if the ridge is here, if it's here, or if it's here, we don't know yet. But we do think that that's kind of the idea behind this. When we look at our Canadian data, our American data, and our European data, all forecasting a ridge to develop by June. And what that would mean, very simply put here, guys, is that you would get in on it on a northwest flow. This is the European monthly data here. See the high, you get in on the northwest flow, and then you get rain and thunderstorms on the east side of that low. So that's been the basis of our summer outlook all along. Now, I posted these. I sent these to your email. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these because I sent these to your email on Saturday morning. So go back through and check these and read what I wrote. Okay, make sure you check out everything I'm talking about and go back through because crucial information was sent to you on Saturday. It's good stuff. This is the sea surface temperature constructed analog forecast for summer. And very simply put, you look at this, it's seasonal forecast. You're looking at normal temperatures forecasted here by the constructed analog model in terms of maybe taking things into an El Nino. Okay, so that's the forecast there for temperatures, and then a little peek of South America down there too, so you can check that out. But look here at precipitation. Okay, again, this is June, July, August, and for the most part, you may be looking at a drier northern ag belt. There's a signal of some dryness up here in the northern ag belt. For the most part, though, across Indiana and most of the heart of the ag belt, your June, July, August precipitation is above normal, perhaps well above normal in Iowa, Illinois areas, and Iowa, Illinois primarily here, maybe southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, but maybe a little bit of dryness east, and that's something we have talked about. That's something that we have discussed. Maybe there will be some dryness east a little bit or southeast, but overall, a wet growing season, seasonal temperatures. That's the constructed analog forecast for now. It's kind of hard to disagree with that. This is the harvest, August, September, October analog, and again, looking at temperature or precipitation to be well above the normal. Now, real quick, I do want to show you the updated, just the updated American model for June, July, August. This is the updated run here. I'll show you precipitation and I'll show you temperature. I'm pulling it up on my other screen right now just to give you an idea because it's really primarily the same. And this updates all the time, but it's the same for summer. Above normal precipitation, perhaps some dryness in the northern tier here, and then temperatures. You're still looking at seasonal temperatures just based off the latest data here going forward. So that's what I wanted to show you here on the seasonal data. Be sure to check out the ag report today, because I do want to talk about what's going on in the Bering Sea and the North Pacific Ocean in terms of where the pattern is going to go in the next couple of weeks, next 3 or 4 weeks. So be sure and check that out, guys. Thanks for logging on today. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.